What's up, what's up? I'm so glad to see you back here today. My name is Erin, obviously, and I am chatting more on my vegan series. So last week I did the fun special with Rogan, but the week before I did the one about why I initially went vegan. So I hope you enjoyed that one. And this week I decided to continue on that vegan note about why I am still vegan, which is the other question I get asked so commonly after 5 years. Why do you still choose this lifestyle? You know, what's kept you this way? And so yeah, I was really excited, and I always start out writing things just to get my head about me, and because I do love to write and express in that way. So yeah, if you ever want to check out any of my videos content, they always originally come from my blog at erinslingerland.com, but I quickly racked up the word count to well over 3,000 words, so I thought I better split this video series into two parts of why I'm still vegan. So this is part one of that, and I think I came up with 12 reasons, or summed it up in 12 reasons, and so this is the first 6 reasons. I look naked, but I am not naked. Okay, so I'm gonna jump right in, first with the disclaimer that my boyfriend, none of my family members, and very few of my close friends are vegan. I'm not. And to anyone who isn't vegan or plant-based, I'm not here to try and convert you to a certain way of life. You asked, I'm answering. This is why I'm still vegan. This is my very personal choice, and I support and love whatever makes you happy. This is what makes me happy, and this is why I'm still vegan 5 years down the line. So, jumping in with reason number 1, I have them written down, is the apple and the baby. So I heard this concept after initially going vegan. I just felt myself feeling more and more compassionate over time, and just like this kind of weird thing that was going on in my head, and I was like, why do I feel more aligned with who I feel like I should be? And then I came across this concept of the apple and the baby, and it was that if you put a baby that is old enough to eat solid foods, and you give them the choice between, and you put a rabbit on one side and you put an apple on the other side, the baby's going to eat the apple and it's going to play with the rabbit. I was like, what if this means that I'm more like naturally inclined to eat certain foods than other foods, just on my natural physiological response to things? So that was like the first idea that I had. Reason number 2 is I also read this thing, I can't remember who said it, and I'm going to butcher it up, but basically they said that you don't really understand compassion until you put yourself in the situation. And only after being vegan for a little while did this, I think it was a man, and I have his face in my mind, did he start like understanding compassion and understanding this way of life. And I thought that sounded really woohoo, but then I tried it and I noticed the exact same thing, and I really felt like I had this internal shift to compassion, where suddenly I was like more compassionate to other people, to myself, to nature. I was like more conscious about everything, to even insects, to spiders, to ants, to flowers, to absolutely everything. It was like my eyes, like this little hood just like lifted off, and I was like, I am compassionate being. Not really that intensely, but yeah, I just did notice this weird shift, and I like journaled a lot about it and started meditating around that time. So a lot of things definitely came into play, but yeah, that was a very interesting shift I noticed, where I just suddenly like understood this lifestyle. I was like, oh, I get it. I get why people do this. And reason number 3 is I couldn't look in their eyes. So I decided, could I actually kill an animal? And I was going to find out, not by actually killing an animal, but by going to a petting zoo and playing with animals. It's a bit ridiculous. Playing with animals that we usually eat. So I was going to play with pigs, and I was going to find some little chickens and little chicks and cows. And I went and I played with, and goats and sheep, oh my gosh, and little lambs. And I sat there, and instead of getting hungry, go figure, I just fell in love with these tiny little beings, and I saw that I would like stroke this big rooster, and it was like cooing to me, and I thought, oh my gosh, what have I been doing? I felt like the worst person in the world, especially the lambs. Guys, have you seen a lamb? They are too freaking cute. And so I then also went over to the cows. I didn't touch the cows because I don't think that was allowed, but I looked in the cow, and I like kind of imagined myself standing there and shooting it in the head, and I wondered, could I do it? And the answer was like, it honestly made me like cry. It made my knees buckle. I was just like, I can't believe I've been separating these animals from the meat that's on my plate. it was just a really weird realization. And I think so many people do. I really don't think people associate pork with, you know, an intelligent pig, and I don't think they associate lamb with like these adorable little sheep. So very, very interesting insight I got from that. And yeah, the truth is that I couldn't look them in the eye and shoot them. I couldn't look them in the eye and slit its throat. I couldn't look it in the eye and throttle it. Even when a baby bird is injured and I know I should put it out of its misery, I can't do it. I have to get someone else to do it. And then I thought, maybe this is because we have hunters and gatherers, and some are better equipped to be hunters and some are better equipped to be gatherers, and I'm definitely more of a gatherer. And so then the next reason number 4, was the idea of humane slaughter. Maybe if they slaughter them humanely, and then, yeah, already that tripped me up. I'm like, how can you kill someone in a humane way? If they don't want to die and they're being raised in captivity with no living space and in harsh conditions and being fed food that's not naturally for them, no, that's not humane. There's nothing human about it at all. We're not treating them in any way we treat a human. And I came across this idea of speciesism, which is basically like discriminating based on a species in the same way that racism discriminates based on race. And I thought, have I been a speciesist my entire life? And the answer was absolutely yes. And I found this quote back then, that Auschwitz begins when you look at a slaughterhouse and you think to yourself, they're only animals. And I'm a huge lover of history, and I went back and it was like all these things hit me like a ton of bricks. The Rwandan genocide, and even something like World War II, where what we do is we make them less than human to make it seem okay for us. And only humans are the superior race that deserve a right to life and fair treatment and a happy life, and are bred to live and not just for our selfish enjoyment. So basically, I thought to myself, in the Rwandan genocide, what they did was they would like signal out on the radios, like, we have to go do our work. They would sugarcoat it basically. We have to go, we use euphemisms and then we feel better about it. We have to go do our work, and we have to kill the cockroaches. We have to get rid of these pests, is what they said in World War II. They're just animals, and I just thought, it's so crazy how we do that in the same way where, you know, we don't go to the slaughterhouse, we go to the butchery, and, you know, we get our little meat packaged in little things that looks nothing like animals. There's no, and some of the funny thing is, like, even milk, there's like happy little cows running around there. It's messed up. That's messed up. Anyway, so speciesism and my like love for history, and I thought, I don't want to be a part of this anymore, so I'm not. The end. Moving on to number 5, was that I couldn't draw the line between what is dinner and what is my friend. And growing up, my mom had these little books where she like tells, where you get to read later about your milestones, and always my best friends were my cats, which I never actually thought about that until I recently told a friend about it. And I just thought that was so easy. So it's always been so easy for me to just love animals more than people, and to even associate with animals more than people, and even understand them more than people. And so I thought it's so strange that I had some animals like honestly sit at people's dinner tables with them, and the other animals are on the dinner table. And I just thought, who decides? Maybe one species is more intelligent, but now we all know that pigs are far more intelligent than dogs. And yeah, so that just shook me, the fact that I couldn't draw the line between what should be my pet. And when I went to those oh my gosh, goats. I wanted a little goat. I want a goat as a pet for sure. And if they are happy being domesticated, I would definitely have one. So I couldn't draw the line, and I decided if I couldn't draw the line, then I didn't deserve to eat them. For me, you know, when I look in their eyes, I see the same thing, and I just see a being. And when I touch them and they, you know, are like happy to be touched and happy to be loved, yeah, whether it's a cat or a chicken or a pig, it was all the same to me. And I wouldn't grab my cat at the throat and still it right there in any humane way, or raise it in a cage for me to eat later on in life, or feed it the horrible things. Yeah, my cat's one of my best friends. Yeah, I can't have some family and some dinner. It just doesn't make sense to me. The last one, reason 6, is that I'm anti-rape. And this is something that you'll know I feel very strongly about. And so when I found out that this was happening on a daily basis with these metal prods to these cows that are being, I guess for some people are going to be like, Erin, it's not rape, he doesn't know what it is. I know, they don't really know what's going on, but I'll tell you what they do know is when you're taking that baby away from them and they mourn. Do not watch 2 hours of a cow mourning after its calf. I'm warning you, don't do it. You will cry forever and never drink milk again, basically. And humans are the exception. Why do we drink another species' milk? That is absurd. Over 70% of the world is lactose intolerant, and also that milk is made for a baby cow. I do not want to look like a baby cow. I do not want to grow as fast as a baby cow. The whole concept was just ridiculous to me. I don't want to get too, don't want to sound too preachy, and I don't want to get too in detail about what goes on these farms and things like that, because I feel like if you do want to see it, you can go watch it. But also something that really grossed me out is when I found out that there's a certain amount of pus in every carton of milk, and I was like, I'm drinking udder pus. I don't like the sound of that. I don't like that it's a chicken's period as eggs. Like, these concepts that just didn't come naturally to me. And if it doesn't make sense to me, I'm not going to do it. Like, obviously there's logical sense. Like, you know, there are certain things that have to go beyond sense. But if it doesn't feel right, it doesn't taste right, I don't even like the taste of eggs or milk, you know, I had to like be trained to eat those two foods. It was just such a natural transition for me. And I believe that the animals do deserve a right to life, and that they're all my family and they're all my equal beings. Hence, I like to believe I'm no longer a speciesist, and I do sleep easier at night living this guilt-free way. So those are the first 6 reasons why I am still a vegan. Until next time, bye!